So it's Sunday, I have a little bit of time. Got tired of sitting around inside the house, so I decided to come down to the garage and do a little bit of work and find something to do and kind of just talk, I guess, to the camera. Anybody that wants to listen. Had a lot going on over the past month or so. A company that I've worked with for 15 years. I'm no longer with them anymore. Can't go into details, can't talk about it due to legal reasons. But I am currently in a position to where I've had about a month off of work and a lot of time to just kind of reflect on life and, you know, what's important and what isn't. And what do I want from life? So I figured I would just kind of talk about it a little bit. Excuse me. This is my Went Up USA bike rack, and I figured I would clean it up and maybe put a ceiling on it. There's something to do. So, yeah, you know, I think we all find ourselves in situations in life where it's time for change. It's time to move on. It's time to, you know, to go down a different path. You know, maybe you're ready for that path, maybe you're not. This is Griot's Paint Prep. Removes polymer silicone and old wax from paint. And, you know, I think that's kind of important. I think we all need that from time to time to grow. Sometimes we find ourselves in a rut, and some things we have control over, some things we don't have control over. But it's part of life to evolve. And you know, that's kind of where I've been. It's something my wife has mentioned to me. Let me turn that light back on. My wife has mentioned to me, you know, on a few different occasions that I should start my own company. And, you know, I've thought about it over the years. But the fear of failure, you know, what would I do? It's easier when problems belong to somebody else. Could I run my own company? Yeah, I believe I could. It's the what if, you know. It's the what if part. And that's where I'm at right now, is I think I've decided to start my own company. I don't have all the details. I don't know how I'm going to do it. But I do know a lot of people that I think I could get some good advice from if I needed it. It could help guide me. And so, you know, what company would that be? I'm kind of sharing this, you know, to just talk about it, I think, rather than it just sitting spinning in my head all the time. But also there's probably other people that's in the same position that I'm in. You know, I'm what, 46? 46, right? Yeah, well, I'll be 46 this year, I think. I can't remember how old I am. But, you know, I'm not in my 20s. And what I'm really seriously considering is starting a detailing company. And, you know, I don't want to be just another detailing business. You know, I want to offer something different, something specific to a specific clientele. And I live in Naples, Florida. I mean, what better place is there, you know, to start a company than here? So I've already kind of put some things into motion, but I'm just kind of trying to do it day by day and not rush anything. Because, you know, again, I'm not 100% confident as to where this is going. I started seeing a counselor to deal with, you know, some challenges that I've been dealing with personally. And actually, I scheduled my first meeting with a counselor. It was actually just before I left my previous job. And I've been there probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. And it seems that I suffer with depression, which, you know, I had a bit of a challenging childhood. And, you know, things happen in people's life and people make decisions, good, bad decisions. And, you know, it's just everybody's been there, right? And I have an amazing son. I have an amazing wife. And, you know, there were just a lot of issues that I just never dealt with. And there was always this stigma that I had that, you know, seeing a counselor, you're crazy, that kind of thing. And man, that couldn't be further from the truth. You know, it really couldn't. And I have already, just in such a short amount of time, been able to sort through so many different things. And, you know, yeah, you have wonderful, amazing friends and amazing wife that, you know, you can talk to, but talking to a counselor is just, it's so different, you know. It's just been so different for me. So I don't know if I'll go on medication or not for the depression aspect. My counselor that I'm seeing now, he's actually referred me to another psychologist, or to a psychologist who I'm seeing as a counselor, but to a psychologist to go through an evaluation to see if, you know, some of what I deal with is something that's, you know, if it's something I need medication for. But basically, you know, a lot of what I have, it's, I'll go 120 mile an hour until I reach a point that I crash and burn. And then I go into these like depression type modes, and that's why you probably see on my channel sometimes I'll be like banging out videos and then just stop for a while. And I don't think it's, you know, I've watched so much of this different stuff that, you know, I've almost scared the hell out of myself, wondering if, you know, oh my God, am I bipolar, you know? And I don't know. I don't think that's the case. I think it's just you know, the depression part. You know, when it hits it, when you're not bipolar, or when you're not in depression, you know, you really feel like you probably are bipolar, because it's such a relief to not, you know, live in that, not to live in that funk, you know. But I've noticed a huge change in myself. And, you know, the depression, you know, that I'm dealing with, it could even be just related to, you know, my previous job, because I've been there for a long time and just felt like, you know, I just felt like I was constantly banging my head against a wall every day. And, you know, for me, what I did, I'm not going into details because I can't, but what I did, there was no way for me to, trying to figure out how to word it. There was no way for me to, well, every day I went into work, it was the same feeling, you know. It was a feeling of hopelessness, and couldn't control the situation, and people couldn't realize or see. And you know, maybe it was me, maybe it was someone else, I don't know. But at this point, I'm working on me. You know, I have control of my own life now, and I'm going to figure out how to make this work. It's weird. It's weird being in that state of mind where you believe in yourself. You know that you can do anything that you set your mind to. But it's that huge fear of, but what if, you know? But what if, you know, you make a bad decision, and what if what you do affects somebody else? And in this situation, it would. You know, I'm married, been married for 20 years, and you know, what if it's the wrong decision to make? But how am I going to know if I don't try? And so I do have a lot of really, really good ideas that I think would work great. And if anybody has any recommendations or anything, you know, let me know. I'm open. This would be the first time of me starting up my own business. And, you know, I think the sky's the limit with it. I think, you know, I think it's just a matter of sorting out some of the small details, and I think that's where I'm kind of struggling. But it's so weird, because when I was out earlier, I went for a walk, you know, just to get out. And when I went for a walk, this popped up on my phone, and I saved it. 11 mental tricks to stop overthinking everything. Boy, if that isn't my biggest challenge, because I do. And it says, just to read a little bit of what it says. Being a leader requires confidence, decisiveness, and quick thinking, none of which are served by overthinking every decision or scenario or worrying about every move you make. There's a time to think, a time to act, a time to reflect, and a time to move forward. Overthinking causes us to spend too much time thinking, getting stuck in a loop of inaction, and turns positive reflection into debilitating worry. Not only does it not move us forward, but it moves us backward and downward. And this is on, what website is this? It's weird because I don't know where it came from. It just popped up on my phone, but it's inc.com, inc.com. Hopefully you can see that there. I haven't had a chance to fully read it yet, but and I know some people. I know quite a few people that own businesses. So I do have resources available that I can go to and ask questions if I need to. I guess it's that saying, the greatest fear is fear itself, and I think maybe that's kind of where I'm at in the whole situation. And but it's crazy because I'm kind of a creative type person, and if I'm not creative in some way, or accomplishing, I'm very goal oriented, and if I'm not accomplishing a goal, it just really messes with me, and I find that very, very difficult to deal with. And that's definitely something that I've got to work on. So I think I've gotten most of this kind of wiped down with the Griot's paint prep. It's pretty clean. It wasn't really dirty to start with, because I take really good care of my stuff. I think now I'm going to put a sealant on it. Let's see, what do we got here? We've got all kinds of stuff. But I think I'm going to use the Griot's finishing sealant, which is here. I think I'm going to use some of that in a pad. Yeah. So I'm going to use the Griot's Boss Best of Show System finishing sealant. And then I'm going to use their red pad. And then they have this little finger thingy. It goes here on the back. Just like that. And then this is the Griot's. I've had this for a while. I don't know if they still even make this, but this is the wax removal. So yeah, I've had a lot going on, and I know somebody that owns a charter airline or jet service, and so all of these pieces and parts and stuff. It's like, man, I know all these people, and I enjoy detailing. Am I pro? Not even close. You know, I don't know what a lot of these guys know. I just clean my own cars. You know, but I like my stuff to be clean. You know, I know what my expectations would be. You know, if I'm dropping $250 for a detail, you know, I'd want it to look good, right? And I think I could make that work. I don't know if I already mentioned it, but I've already been working on logo designs and t-shirt designs and all of that, because, you know, I'd want to get people, you know, kind of involved in the process of it. You know, helping kind of build the company, and for people to have an interest in it. So I think that's important too. You know, I think it's important that people feel a part. And so yeah, I've already been working on a lot of that. That's that creative side of me, man. Once you know, the thoughts and stuff just start coming through, it just, man, I just almost can't stop it. It's really hard to explain. I need some better lights in here. I live in an apartment and I rent a garage here. That's going to be one of the challenges that I've got to figure out. You know, with having the detail service, where am I going to, you know, where am I going to do that? Because I have, you know, a Honda Accord, so I'm going to have to, you know, buy a vehicle that I can use. Probably to start the mobile detailing service is probably the way it'll have to start out, I would imagine. I've just had so many different signs, you know, just do it, you know, stop thinking about things and just make it happen. And yeah, I think that's kind of where it's all at now. Is, you know, you just got to do it. So, you know, I've had some success, you know, doing some other things. But the problem is once I would get, I don't know if I'd get stressed out or if, you know, depression, I'd get depressed over something and, you know, be like, you know what, I'm just not dealing with this crap, and I'd quit. And this, you can't, you know. I would expect that this is something that could grow into a really big business. So I don't just want to do detailing, you know. I do want that to be kind of the main focus, but, you know, I want there to be a lot more to it than just polishing a car, you know. I like to get into, you know, detailing boats and airplanes, jets, you know, create a place that, you know, everybody could come and hang out, and, you know, you could, once a month, you could do little training things and, you know, all kinds of cool stuff like that. I think that would be really, you know, really fun. Sorry if I'm blocking the camera. Let's see if we can see what we're doing here. Yeah, a little bit. And so, you know, I want it to be so much more, you know. I want it to be an experience everybody enjoys. It's fun. And everybody has something in common, you know. They're just, you know, hanging out with their cars and having fun. So it's just kind of what's going on in my head at the moment. But yeah, if anybody has any ideas or anything, let me know. I mean, let me know what you guys think. I think I'm going to have to probably get another job, though, until I can get this thing completely off the ground. There's still so many questions that I just don't have the answers to just yet. But I'm hoping at some point that I can get maybe a, you know, kind of a business coach, you know, that can kind of help me with, you know, what should I do with this? What should I do with that? I mean, like I said, I know quite a few people that owns their own businesses. It'd be good to get, you know, their point of view. Switching to the other side. I just hate working for other people. You know, it's like they don't do what you would do. You know, a lot of them make stupid decisions. In my opinion, they're dumb. They don't make sense. You know, it's like, when you have people that's not doing their jobs, deal with it. As Matt Mormon says, you know, Obsessed Garage, stop being a baby. I love Matt. I've never met Matt. If you don't know who I'm talking about, Matt Mormon, he owns Obsessed Garage, which is a YouTube channel, and he's a entrepreneur, and he's done really, really well. I think he just turned 40, I think. I wear a lot of his shirts. I've been following his channel for a little over 5 years. It's hard to believe it's been that long. One of these days I'll go meet him. He lives here in Florida as well. In a lot of ways, he's kind of inspired me. You know, I've watched him over the years turn Obsessed Garage from just a YouTube channel of him making videos of washing his cars to, you know, to a very, very successful business, you know. And the good news with that is if anything ever happens to YouTube, he's got something to fall, you know, he still has something to fall back on, to where, you know, a lot of these that I've seen, a lot of these YouTube channels, and I don't know what will happen if YouTube ever stops monetizing all these people. You know, I don't spend a lot of time editing videos and all that. I don't know. I hate doing it. I feel like a lot of videos are just edited so much to the point that they only see what they want you to see, which to me it's fake. You know, I'm sorry, but it's fake. I don't know any other way to say it. I don't think there's anything wrong with being who you are, you know, and people will like you for who you are or they won't. It's just part of it, right? But I know I've reached a point with, you know, with my life that it's time to do something, you know. I know I can do it better. I think another thing too is, you know, I never really saw someone kind of create a business. I saw how someone ran a business, but I never saw anybody really create one. And I think that's where some of my challenge comes from too. It's like I know where I want to be, but I don't know how to get there. You know? I'm talking to my counselor. It's interesting. He is like super cool too. I like him a lot. You know, it's like, you know, he's got his own business, and he owned a medical supply company, and you know, I think he was going through some challenges or whatever and got rid of it. But you know, he was telling me that he's thinking about getting back into it, or getting back into the medical supply business as well. And you know, I don't know if he knows it, but me, you know, hearing him talk about, you know, his business, it inspires me. You know, it's like, I guess, right, if there's anybody that you're going to use as a business coach, why not your counselor? You know, he knows everything else that's going on. And it actually just popped in my head, but that's actually really cool. I mean, that's a pretty cool thought. And you know, the whole counseling thing has really not been what I expected. I went to a counselor one time back, I don't know, probably, I want to say about 11 years ago. And the guy just sat there. And it was almost like one of those, so how'd that make you feel? So how'd that make you feel? So how does that make you feel? And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, you sitting here asking me how it makes me feel just pisses me off, and it's making my situation even worse. You're not helping me, you know. It's just, what the crap? I could have paid a 2-year-old less money than that to sit and just say, how's that make you feel? But he offered no advice, you know, nothing to help. Hey, maybe try this, try that. I've learned more in 2 sessions that I did. I want to say, I think I saw this other guy 6 months, you know, and I was going every week, you know, to see that guy. So I don't really know what I've done and what I haven't. I'm sitting here talking and completely lost track, which I guess is okay, right? But yeah, I mean, it's every sign that I see keeps just telling me to do this. And you know, I've read and seen some things where some people, you know, they just, you know, you can make, I guess, kind of okay money. It's a lot of work. That part does concern me a little bit, because I've been in an office for 15 years, you know. I'm not used to working out in the heat other than detailing my own car, but it's not like doing it, you know, 8 hours a day. And I wouldn't mind eventually getting, you know, to a point to where, you know, I have a team that would do the mobile side of it, and then I could work in an air-conditioned garage. You know, get some guys that, you know, really, really good, that's passionate about what they do, and you know, I have the mind to run the business, but I know what people want. Just don't know I have the stamina to, you know, be out in this freaking heat. Especially, you know, we're in Florida where it's hot as hell. But I'm determined to figure this out. I feel like this is a huge part of me, is just saying this is what's meant to be. And just go for it. Right? If it don't work out, you just do something else. But, you know, I've already been dropping some money. I filed for the LLC business permits. I did all of that actually yesterday. And so I've already started down the path. And as you can probably tell, I've got tons of detailing equipment. So I've got, you know, most of the startup costs. The only thing that I don't have is the vehicle. I got to figure that part out, you know. So I had to figure that out, but it'll come. You know, a lot of people, they do it out of their homes. You know, they drop off their vehicles and that kind of thing. And if that's what I need to do at first, I guess that's just what I need to do. But I'm waiting to get the LLC, business licenses, insurance. You know, once it's an official business, then I'll start pushing it. As of right now, I'm concerned that if I try to push anything, something was to happen, you know, I don't want all kinds of lawsuits and crap, so I just don't even want to deal with any of that. So, just don't want to even deal with any of that. Do shit right or just don't do it at all. I mean, that's the way I It's just the way I see it. So, for you guys, anybody else is dealing with, similar things like I am right now, feel free to comment on it. I'd like to hear, your thoughts and, how you guys handle situations. And, I'm sure everybody has been, been through this, especially if you've owned your own business. Unless you had, a long history of family businesses and that kind of thing. But, being in a position that I've been in, for the past 15 years, where I basically ran the business. How hard can it be? Okay, so I am going to put another I should probably let that sealant cure for a while before I do anything else to it, but I think I'm probably just going to leave it like this for now. Got it all clean. I need to work in the garage here, try to clear out some space so that I can get a vehicle in here and that kind of thing. My car just barely fits in here, so anything larger than my car, I'd never be able to get in. So anyway, so it's kind of an update with what's going on. And as things progress, I'll share it with you. I've already waiting for the LLC, but I've already for the name of the new company. But I've already allocated YouTube page, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the whole 9 yards. So I got everything already set, ready to go. Just waiting for to own the name, and legally have a business. So stay tuned as we head down this journey, and we'll see where it goes. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye.